Try again. Yeah, okay. Thanks, OBS. Yeah, I think that did it. That was weird. It just lost my audio source. Thank you for mentioning that. Okay, hold on. Ready? Wait, let's go back. Let's do it again. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another Binary Ninja live stream. Pretend this happened. This is the first time this happened, clearly. Welcome to the 3.4 live stream. Oh, nice. What are you printing? Yeah, we're doing a little bit earlier. I'm going to start cranking back the time a little bit. I think it'll be better for people in Europe that want to go to sleep at a reasonable time, or the only thing is it'll conflict a little more with people in West Coast and East Coast US even more into their workday. But that's fine. This is work. If you're interested in it, this is legit. Dank, welcome. Scott, welcome. Ryan, Robert, and Valgrind. Glad to see everybody on the stream. I even made a fresh latte. We've got a new coffee machine at the office. Lots of milk and lots of sweetener is how I drink it. All right. So let's get to the good stuff though. So we have lots of good stuff today. We are going to go over the major features for Binary Ninja 3.4, or Braze is the release name. And let's see here. Let me pull up which screen we want to do. Let's do this one. All right. So, oh, a case cartridge. Interesting. A C64, like, yeah, a Commodore 64, like actual physical cart. Interesting. Yeah, I guess welcome. Nice to see you. I don't recognize your handle. I apologize if I've missed it before. So yeah, we're gonna be looking at Binary Ninja 3.4. These are the Braze features. Actually, I think I've missed a few here, and I haven't put everything kind of in the list. If you're not familiar with this UI, this is just Enterprise. If I'm particularly organized, I like to have all of the binaries and things that I'm looking at on stream inside of one of our Enterprise servers, just because it makes it easier to like organize and find stuff, and we can make folders. That won't be true actually in the 4.0 release, the release after this next one, because project support where you can do folders and organize files even on a normal version of Binja are coming along quite nicely and should be out in the next stable. But for now, we're focused on 3.4. So let's see. I'm going to let the audience vote. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Did we list that twice? Okay, yep, there we go. So We've got another new folder. So here are all of our choices. Vote for which one of these that you want to see. We've got the intrinsic constant. So holding, you can do forward slashes. Oh, intrinsic constant. Okay, intrinsic constants. C++ type supports. And we debated what to do with Sidekick. I think we're going to hold off on the Sidekick demo. Welcome, all right. We've got, all right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 choices here. Did I get them right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that looks right. Okay, that looks like my list of items. Yep, Ninja, we're doing it just a little bit earlier in the day. I kind of wanted to enjoy my Friday evenings a little bit more, head home with the family. In fact, I might even switch it up an hour earlier. We'll see. We're gonna be I think for future streams I might even go back to 3 p.m. Eastern. But let me know what y'all think. I'm not sure what works best, so we'll see. I've done an earlier. I think I've done 4 p.m. before one time. So let's see. Components I think is the easiest and doesn't even really have a special a B&B for it because I've been showing this off for a while now, right? Components, which I think I gotta turn on here. Components has been on dev for a while, and it uses Google authentication when you're on the enterprise server or whatever single sign-on you've got. So we use Google Workspaces, so we've got that. All right, so like for example, oh yeah, this is a good one. This is a perfect one. So I think because I have, wait, turn components on, enable, what happened? It's, something else is turning, hold on, I have a different version of Ninja running and I think it's, let's try this. I'm actually going to show here because I'm going to check my settings. Not that it really matters if I leak our internal enterprise server URL because it only works inside of the office anyways, but just out of an abundance of caution. Let's see if I can not leak this like my stream key. Components. Oh, I see what happened. That's funny. I tried to manually edit something and I made invalid JSON. And so that was on me for messing that up. Let's see here. All right, so let's see if we can try this again. Is audio messed up again? Mizu, if you were starting earlier in the stream, the first few seconds. Oh, I was building a plugin a couple weeks ago to automatically download malware hashes from various like Malshare and other sites. In fact, I wonder if I still have the plugin installed. No, I don't have the plugin currently installed, but I was working on this plugin. And so I had all my like API keys to access things from like Malshare and stuff like that. But I was really good for like an hour and a half, and then I leaked my key there accidentally. But they fixed it really, really fast. I immediately let them know, and Silas revoked it. Not that I'm worried about somebody downloading malware. It's pretty easy to get. It's not super. So, all right, we've got a vote for debugger, a vote for intrinsic constant. I'm saving C++ for last because I kind of saved the best for last. And actually, I haven't even tried it myself. Like literally, it landed on dev yesterday. And so I'm doing this. It's gonna be a first for me too. So we're gonna take a look at that. Let's see if I fix my settings. Okay, so now I should be able to actually have its settings take into effect. Unless I broke it, we'll see. All right, I fixed that. Okay, so turning on. Oh, and just as a note, we probably will be enabling components by default here soon. So they go like this will be the default behavior. You can always turn it off if you really prefer the old simpler view. You can do that. So for example, I don't want data variables, and I think I've turned that on previously. I think the default is to show basically this. I'll have to double check that. I'll make a note. What is the default things shown? Default in components, unless Kat is on the stream, in which case she'll let me know. Thank you, Eric. I will make sure if Kat's not here that we pass that along. Yeah, it's really coming along nicely. There's a bunch of little stuff that she's still working on. We found some weird edge cases because this is like it's a UI thing that we're gonna yeah, a lot of people are gonna spend time with this. Like, so for example, new folder with selection, MD5, clearly, right? So this is a random binary that we were looking at earlier, and that's a perfect one. We can just throw all the MD5 stuff into the MD5 component. So that's, yeah, this is components. Again, you can enable it yourself by searching for component in dev, or we might change the name too, because we've been calling it components. Components is actually two things. So this is really the new symbol view, because components are really the APIs that let you organize these things. In fact, I haven't even played with those APIs. Let's go check that out. In the API, there is the component module, and let's see. Actually, it's probably just like bv.components if I had to guess. Let's see. No, it's not currently under components there, but let's see here. So there's the components functional. So once you've got a component, right, you can do function list. That looks good. So how do I get a component? So I probably want to look for the reference to components in binary view instead of inside it. So let's see. So why is search broken? Oh, they did change around. You know what? I changed some settings and I haven't tried it. I bet I broke that. Yeah, like literally over the last weekend, I made a bunch of changes to the API docs. No, API docs, or was I doing user docs? No, I was doing user docs. I don't think I changed that. So that should still work. But it's going to be the same here, so this is fine, or close enough. If you want to be sure, you can go to dev dash, but components, I probably want the plural. Let's see. Or is my browser doing something? You know what? Is something in my browser? Hold on. Let me try a different browser real quick. Components, or is that like a magic? Okay, that works in, yeah, this works in on the stable on Safari. Oh, is it broken? It's broken on dev. Yeah, search is broken on dev. It's almost certainly still my fault, because I was messing with the docs recently. Okay, so that's my fault. That is not a feature of 3.4. That will be fixed before. Also, I'm going to pull chat up over here just because it's easier for me to read on this machine. Okay, there we go. Now I can see all those lovely faces, or lovely icons and messages more easily. All right, so yeah, I broke that. There is no question. I'll happily blame somebody else if I can, but I know that one's on me. Anyway, the good news is components have been around for the API itself was even in the latest stable. So the search docs there is fine. Component added. Okay, so you can get it from a binary data notification. Function added. There's a bunch of component notifications. How do I just get the list of components? Okay, that's 95 matches. I should have gone backwards. Create component. Okay, so bv.create component. Name it a parent. Okay. Actually, I wonder if I search for components, because something is going to have. Okay, rebasing does something with components. Root components houses all unparented components. Oh. So do I have to get root component? I feel like, okay, that? I feel like that is hard to figure out. I feel like that should just be components. Root component. Okay. Dot components. Okay. So yeah, that's I guess how you would get that out of the API. Yeah, I feel like that could be easier. Root component is not intuitive. This is why we have several more weeks of testing. I'm curious if y'all would just name it dot components. I mean, I kind of feel like, yeah, I feel like actually just this what is currently here should just be bv.components. Like that's 99% of the time what I'm going to want is this. I just like give me a list of the top level components, right? If I access that. So there are future plans. So components is really meant to be like just a base organizational thing, and then you can do other stuff like so the other thing is that is currently still in here are these like little scripts. So like sort by section name. Da, 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 da. Oh, are there section names? So do I have to show everything? I just had to do a refresh. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, and components can have duplicates, interestingly enough. So now we have .text. Everything is in .text. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. That's nice. Yeah, so there's all sorts of stuff you can do on top of it with both the variables and functions, but this was very intentionally just minimal, and I think that's probably the right call. So because there's a lot of these little examples of how you might choose to sort them. So that's kind of nifty. So it'll create sections, although it needs a refresh, um, final refresh after scripts. Presumably there's a way to like trigger refresh, but that would organize them there. Or honestly, because this already had this class, I bet I could just close it, not save it, and reopen it, and rerun the other script, and it would have done that MD5 thing for me I did automatically. Nope, it didn't actually. I wonder where it's getting that data from. So we can move it in afterwards, and we can rename it. Oh, and I think we did make it. Yeah, double click opens and closes the folder instead of renaming it, which was a change that we did when I demoed it earlier. I suggested it to Kat. I think a couple other people gave this the same feedback. So yeah, that's components. There's a couple like little, it's got a couple more weeks of like tweaks and bug fixes and little other stuff. I mean, if you try weird things like if you select a selection that crosses the boundary of in a component, out of component, things can get a little weird. There's a couple of like, if you try real hard to make it break, you can still. So most of the stuff is in that category, and she's cranking away on those. So all right, let's see. That's components. All right, so let's go back to our list again. Y'all have already seen that. That's not new. I saw another one for the intrinsic constant feature. Oh yeah, Ryan, make sure you file that. I wouldn't be surprised. There's a couple of like, yeah. So if I take like start and current function dot name, new name. Yeah. So it's missing a binary data notification to refresh this. Yep. That's an easy fix. And again, if we test without components, I should just check out a license for longer so I don't have to keep getting it. And I do the same thing. We are in start and I rename it. Yeah, you see, notice a new name up there. It took a second. There's a little delay, and that's because you actually no, it should just be via the binary data notification. I don't think it actually has to check. But anyway, yep. So that's a good catch. Yeah, if you don't mind filing that bug, Ryan, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and grab it. So yeah, that's why, and that's another reason why we're going to switch on components to be the default, because the only people using it right now are a couple of adventurous folks who are both on dev and have followed the tweets or the streams and know to go in and turn that on. So we need to get more testing to uncover stuff. So rename doesn't refresh components. Awesome, thank you. Okay, so what was all this stuff? Oh, that's just a bunch of strings. Oh, this is that flag challenge that we were looking at. Yeah, with all the extra flags. Yeah. And actually, one thing I might like is that right now, clicking the so I select them all and hit like Shift A, it'll give me that giant mega string, with some non-printable in the middle of it. Oh, no, that was just my fault. Uh, yeah, it moves your cursor. There's one giant data variable, so it's not offsetting in it. But it might be nice if you could use do a selection, like click at the top, hold Shift, and then click it to go at the end. So, all right, go back to our list. Oh, move a function into an existing folder. Yeah, that's pretty easy. You can just drag and drop it, honestly. So like if, for example, I have all these, and oh, I gotta turn components back on. Let's leave it on. Yeah, we wanna leave that on because, like I said, that's gonna be the new default. Let's not have to click that again. All right, so if I, for example, make these into MD5, I can just drag this in, right? Oh, wait, what did I do? Oh, I dragged it. I know what I did. Yeah, I actually dragged it on top of the other function, so I should have dragged it into the folder itself. That kind of makes sense, because it's quite nice if you just take these two, right? Yeah, so if you drag one function on top of another function or any other object, it will make a new component and then put them both in it, which is, again, sometimes what you want. But I don't know if there's a way to differentiate, like, does it, yeah, oh, there we go. Yeah, I could have done that. See, if I was careful, see the difference between the, like, directly on top of, it'll combine the two, but in between, it will just put it in that folder. Yeah, that's exactly what I expected. And then, oh yeah, drag it to the bottom, takes it out of all of them. Nice. Hey Bart, this is actually an old challenge we worked on before, but we are not doing the challenge. We're playing with all the new features in 3.4. So we're looking at components right now, which is kind of something several folks have seen for a while. It's been on dev. Wait, did I delete it already? Delete folder. Oh no, did I find another bug? I did. So the rule for this release stream is, so this is a little bit like the Apple feature releases, except we don't script up and exactly automate everything and like make it on Rails or video record it all. But the idea is that, like, you know, a month or 3 weeks or so before a stable release, all the big features need to be demoable. They need to be workable enough that we can use them on stream to show off people what's coming. And then we spend the next few weeks like polishing them, last few things, changes, and then like we do a feature freeze and then a bug and then a code freeze and just do testing in that period. So all right, Valgrind, that's fair. So I mean, at that point you could, yeah, I wonder if there's like a add to, I mean, so you could easily use the scripting console, right? So let's do that. Let's say you've got a million of them. Let's script something up. Let's say I want to put sprintf inside of MD5, right? So s is equal to bv.get function by name sprintf. Oh, that's going to be multiple? Yeah, so s equals, all right, so here's the function, and I want to add it to, so if I do bv.root component.components, and I might have multiple, so let's see, there's MD5, okay, dot add function s. And now again, yeah, it looks like we need to have a refresh there. It's not refreshing enough, but, oh. That didn't behave the way I thought it would. True. Maybe that doesn't work. It should have worked. Oh, you know what? Let's double check the add function API. The help docs. Okay, it takes a function. I'm skeptical. Hold on, let me look here real quick. Components. Yeah, okay, it is an actual, it's a function. And it was true if the function was successfully added. So that should have worked. Why did it not? So now let's do bv.root components. Why is that mishap? Is that because you've had Stockholm syndrome from other APIs? Function list. Let's see. Oh, and then S. So 4.3.4.0.2.3.50. It is. Okay, so it's in here, but it didn't. You know what? I wonder if I save this and close it. That's still a bug, but oh, it is. Yeah, and even a refresh didn't fix that. Okay, okay, okay. That's a rename doesn't refresh component. Also, using console to sort or to put into components. Refresh doesn't fix. All right. Yeah, Shellker mentioned that would be one way to do it, like right from here, like add to existing component, and then you could search them all. Except you almost want, so I think what you actually want is something like goto, where like you could type, but it would like match. Or what's a better example? Like if we change types, right? Like if I change the type of a variable, it will use, um, wait, what? Wait, what? Oh man, I haven't seen this. Okay, okay, spoilers, spoilers, spoilers for later. Spoilers for later. Oh, that's C++ stuff. Okay, I hit insert a type. Let's do a type def uint a 32 t whatever. Oops, wrong hotkey. I always do that. Unit, somebody catch it. All right. Okay. So I got my whatever type, and now I want to, right, if I hit Y here. So like if like this is I think what you want. I don't think you want necessarily like a full browser sorter. I think you just want like a text box that will filter and search and match. Like I think. Actually, I'm curious what chat thinks. Like what would you rather have? Like if you want to add, if you got a whole bunch of functions or a whole bunch of components and you want to like add to add selection to component, I think a pop-up where you can just type you know a name, but it will like do a filter partial match search or whatever for all of your components might be better than the, because I think otherwise if you have lots of components, literally scrolling through the components might be slower. So thank you, Muso. You got it. You got it. Um, yeah, exactly, Valgrind. Yep. All right, so we work real hard on that API. Okay, so let's see. So that's components. Yeah, I think a pop-up with like a text filter. Um, I don't know if that will. We'll see. We'll see. There's still some time to do new features. But the priority now for components is to fix any bugs so that we can enable it by default, and then we'll start adding in the features to it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Valgrind. I agree. Like, shift click a selection of them and then right click, add to component, right? And then you can type the name of the component. Um, which is why I think you shouldn't be allowed to actually do this. I think this, like where you select things across, is probably a bad idea. I think it shouldn't let you. I don't know, because like how does that work? Does it add both the category and the items? I just think that's too ambiguous, and it should actually just force stop your selection. Like if you tried to select here, it's like nope, and it just stops right here. I think that would be a better UI because then it's clear like you can only work on a chunk that already live in the same component. And then if you want to also move just this or some subset of these, you'd have to do it separately. But I mean, that's true of even just the drag and drop, right? I think like dragging and dropping that, it's not at all clear to me what should happen because like, yeah, I mean, because again, that's both the top level and one item in the top level, and so like, does this get moved? Does this not? Anyway, I think that's too ambiguous. So the only way to solve that is to do it by not letting somebody select that region. It's probably the easiest way to do it, or just more straightforward. All right, so that's components. Let's do intrinsic constant. All right, so intrinsic constant. Actually, here, no, let's do mhfileset just because it's probably the easiest one to demo. So there is a file. It is a boot. I don't know. It's some sort of like, it doesn't load. It looks like it might be a Mako, right? Like it has the, if I switch to linear, I think I can just hit 4 here and get this decoded for me, right? And then display as hex. Where is display as? There it is. I didn't right click on it. Display as hex. Feed FACF, right, which is the beginning of a Mako. But I guess this is a new file format. And this is not on dev yet, to be clear. It requires a test branch, which is going to be hopefully approved soon. So I'll run that separately here. That is allowed. Our developers they don't have to have their stuff on dev to make this feature timeline. Why did it not run? Did I? I don't know what happened there. I must have moved the folder. Oh, I did. I remember I did. Okay. So so here's that same file. And this time it loads. Ta-da! So yeah, this one, like I said, is on a test branch. It's waiting to be merged. Ooh, you know what? I wanna let snippets go. Let's do some stuff here. So I think first of all, if we do the objective, I don't actually know. No, the kernel is not an Objective-C, I don't think, right? It's C++. So let me see. Do I want to try? Now, yeah, I don't think I want the workflow. I think I just want to open it up, but I want to do an analysis hold. So there's this initial analysis hold. They will open it up and do like no actual like analysis. Doesn't analyze any functions at all, but I still have all my functions. Although I don't have, oh, if I just sort by name probably, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now I should be able to, let's try this. Ooh, that's a great demo, that one too, right? So look at that. Yeah, that's very clean. So yeah, and this again, I think we plan to have these be like first class features where like you could turn on the sorting separately. We're still trying to figure out the exact workflow for them, but that's much cleaner. That's a lot more like, Ghidra's like kind of filtering where it like does stuff by classes. So that's cool. So that's a good test for both binaries. Yeah, I agree, Valgrind. I think that's not at all clear how you handle that case. One answer is you don't do anything when you shift click past that boundary. Or I guess you could have like a pop-up come up and warn them. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's just a nice, really nice way to sort, really large stuff when you have symbols anyways. So, or even if you've manually added them, that's the whole point of having it be available as a script here too, right? Is that you can manually apply these to a binary and then do the same sorting and stuff. You don't have to only do it at load time. So yeah, there we go. So that's this file. And I think there's a way, yeah, analysis hold. If you kill the analysis hold here, yeah, it'll resume analysis. And because the way the UI works and the multi-threading and stuff, it will prioritize whatever function I'm looking at now. So if you if you have navigated to a particular function, oh, I did that before the hold, so maybe, yeah, there we go. It will, like, if I go here, you notice it very quickly does that. Even though the rest of the binary is not done, it can prioritize whatever you're looking at. So it's meant to be, even while it's still analyzing, super usable. And now stuff can change though too, which is interesting because this function could have its analysis update because of some other cross-reference to some other thing, type propagation or all sorts of other stuff. So, it can still change even while you're looking at it, but in general, it's super nice that it's usable and you can scroll around even if it's a large binary that does analysis. So there we go. If you needed MH file set support, that is coming on dev real soon now. And that was also a great demo of the C++ script. Oh yeah, it's going to continue to find more and more stuff for sure. That's perfect. Okay, so let's go back. That's the only one I think that's on test branch. Everything else I think should already be on dev. So we can just do it from the enterprise server. All right. So we saw that not working. We've already done switch statements, and I'm trying to remember the files that we used for that. So let me save that to the end. I'll go pull those up. Let's do intrinsic constant because that's also relatively easy, and I've got those files over here. Okay. That is not okay. Hold on. Let me grab that over here. I'm on a different server, I think. Nope. Okay. All right, that's it. Good. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just pulling this particular file is not where I expected it, so I'm just loading it into the enterprise server from, except I want to connect to dev. Why can't I connect to dev? Oh, because I'm not running the latest, so I'm not compatible with it. That actually makes sense. Let's update the dev build. Okay, so I'll load the binary for that one. And while that's going, let's go let's do the debugger next. So debugger has a great list of, oh, this one actually is, I take that back. This one is also a test build. So let's go grab that. And we'll update this one as well. I should have run through all these at least once beforehand, but I was busy doing something else, which I'll show off later in the stream, which is kind of fun. Where did my Bingy go? There it is. Okay. Start. All right, so which one is this? This is test, and we need to be on test 4791. 4791, the most recent test. So Shusheng has prepared this test branch, and this one is specifically, there's a bunch of improvements to the debugger that are coming. I know there's a couple people in chat that routinely use that. Oh, here we go. Now, can I connect to the server? Yes, I can connect to the server. There we go. Okay. So we're going to upload. And actually, this is kind of a useful thing. I can show you what it looks like when somebody else is poking files into the server. So if from here, oh, you know what's funny? I think I already have this file. I just realized that. The one that I'm going to show for the, yeah, I do actually. I think I have it on this VM. So maybe I didn't need to do that. I think we've used it before. Oh, no, I actually don't have it in there. Okay. So what I'm doing is, from my machine, I'm going to upload that binary. As long as that's yeah, that's the latest dev. And I'll move that into the folder, the intrinsic constant folder. And now if I think I can just refresh it from here. right? So it can pull it up there. So it's one of the reasons that I use this is like even if somebody else from the company is watching the stream or whatever, and they can put it. It's easier for me to get the files than to like Slack it or copy it or manually do it. Oh, what happened? What did I do? Did I kill it? Did I kill it? What happened? Dev Enterprise. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I did before. Oh, no. That dies. Oh. Okay. Hold on. I'll be right back because Glenn's outside and I'll go let him know about this. Hey, Glenn. The latest Firefight test or Firefight open. You got it. So I'll try to open it locally in the meantime. But it could be core. Hey, I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know if this is. I don't know if this is actually an enterprise issue or if this is a core or something else. But it's easy enough to test. So let's walk through it. This is the joy of actually doing this thing as a live demo of real features. So I can do open file location. So the file is actually here. Actually, there's no way to do it too. Right from here, I recently learned this. One of the things you can do is if you want to do this, I can actually download the original file from the server, and I can just go put that in my samples folder, for example. Oh, nope, I don't want to overwrite the file. Just want to put it there. And now if let's see, I think this is going to be latest dev, right? It's a little bit behind. 4170 is not the latest, so let's just refresh that. Oh, I may have closed it too quick. Nope, it kicked it off. There we go. So it's updating. Don't kill Binja during the live stream. Yeah, I mean, normally that would be good advice. I should probably avoid killing Binja. But if I wanted to do that, I would have to wait until after the stable release when we've done all the extra testing, and that's no fun. Y'all don't want to have to wait that long, do you? Okay. So it looks like it opens the file locally. No. What? What is that? Okay. So that's weird because that binary is literally in our CI. Unless that binary got corrupted somehow. Like that binary is in our CI and should be fine. Galen, if you're watching, do me a favor and ping Brian in Slack and be like, by the way, latest dev opening your test file appears to crash. I figured, Galen. Because that's not good. Okay. I don't even know how that build couldn't have succeeded. It should have, unless it's like a platform specifically, like just Linux. Or maybe, yeah, maybe I got a corrupted version of that file somehow. Let me see. Let me try. Okay, so it's FA70 is the beginning of the SHA-256. Which was this? Is the test build. Actually, I could try it in this too. So if I just open it, this is a few builds back. But I should still have most of these changes. So I'm curious if this also dies. No, there's something just really recent on dev, I think. Interesting. But I can check my summary. Yeah, okay, so the file is not corrupt. There's just something really recent on dev that's dying on that file. And I can probably even go back like, anyway, okay, so it's working here. It's working on this one, which I think this dev is relatively recent, so we should be good to share here. So, okay. And this is enabled already by default, I believe. Yeah, analysis outlining of built-ins. So that one is on dev and on by default. You don't have to turn it on. But if we look at, for example, let's see here, OX22E50. Yeah, there's a couple. That's a good question, Robert. This is actually documented pretty well in the user guide. So if you go to docs.binary.ninja, user manual troubleshooting. This actually, the header here, troubleshooting plugins, needs to be changed because it's not about troubleshooting plugins. It's just troubleshooting bugs in general. You can first disable plugins, then you can disable user settings. And there's a couple of different ways you can do that. I use, these two environment variables here. You can just set those environment variables, and then when you launch Binja, it either won't do user plugins or won't do user settings. You can also do -P, which will just disable some plugins. So anyways, there's a couple of things there. You can check the documentation, but the short summary is, if you set these two environment things, that's usually one of the first steps that I recommend that people do when they're troubleshooting. Like if they've got a weird bug, is just try that real quick and see if it's a plugin or a setting that's causing it. It still might be something we can fix or we want to know about, but it helps diagnose bugs a lot better. So, okay. So we're looking at Poppy in particular. And all right. Oh, I was already there. Okay. So this address. All right. Oh, yeah. Here we go. So let's look now at, the easiest way to do that is, so hit Control B to get rid of the sidebar, split, and then we'll show like medium level, I think, even, or low level files where it doesn't. Yeah, it's between low and medium. So we can see, actually, yeah, this is like an XMM load of a pointer. Oh, yeah, that's super annoying. That's super annoying. And that's much cleaner. I'm actually kind of curious. What does Dogbolt do with this? Or what does Ghidra and Ida do with this? I wouldn't be surprised if Ida gets it. But I'm now curious. Ghidra tried once already and it could. This is not, hold on, how big of a binary is this? No. I think just bv.file is all I need. Lang of bv.file. bv.parent view. Yeah. Okay, so it's actually 60K, I guess. Oh, no. It's 350K bytes. Okay, never mind. That's fair. Then I can see Ghidra timing out because I think it's a 2-minute decompilation timeout limit. So yeah, so like let's see, this function is, I will note though, again, it was a 2-minute decompilation timeout limit, and Binja takes it was less than 5 seconds, I think, the whole thing. So just in terms of timing, Ghidra can't decompile it in 2 minutes. All right, so this offset here, what do we want? Which function are we in? We are in 22900, so we can look at Ida's decompilation. Actually, here, click here and then hit Control F. Yeah, 22900. There we go. Okay, so let's turn off Ghidra and Binja and Anger. Anger might finish. We can let it go. Oh, wait, is that? No. Well, hold on. There's still more at the beginning of the function. Okay, yeah, I just want to go to the end of the function. It looks like, well, what is this? It won't necessarily be the end of the function in Ida, but oh wow. Okay, there's nope. Look at that. Yeah, that is significantly better. That's very cool. Okay, so yeah, I was curious how that would do. It turns out that looks pretty bad in Ida as well, or Hexrace rather. And that is beautiful right there. Also, that switch statement there, I don't even think did the switch case get recovered correctly, or I think it's just lost in the noise. I think the switch. No. Oh, look at it. So this is actually, yeah, this is honestly two of the features that I want to show off in the same binary. not even planned, right? Like there's a lot of go-tos and labels and if else. Like this is real bad. Let me make sure I'm at the right. Am I at the right function? 22900, right? Yeah, sub 22900. These are line numbers, right? So they're not actually offsets. And it starts with a perf event paranoid. Can I open Harvard? Yeah, this is the same strings I saw. Air initials at 4M. Is there another power 6 perf event? Yeah, that's the same. That's the right function. Wow. Cool. So that is dramatically better. Like dramatically better. Very nice. So, right, that's two features we're showing off here. All right, so one is the outlining, where it's basically detecting this load through like a floating point register in this case, and where it's being put into a stack variable, and it's just like saying like, look, this is just copying this into this, or in this case, the structure. It's literally loading it into some base pointer, and instead of showing it as some weird load through a floating point, it's just like, right, no, it's just basically moving the data from here to here. Here's the length, here's the mount, and it gets outlined. I have seen the built-in stir copy. One thing that you might run into in some of the binaries I was playing with this week, at a corporate training we were doing, there was a basically like an array, or it was rather several variables that it didn't think were being used, and so it treated them as one big like mem copy, or I forget it was which one of the intrinsics that it was, and if you correctly define, because they were being accessed as like offsets from a base in the code, and so if you just set the type correctly, like change the type, then it would see these accesses and be like, oh, actually I shouldn't turn it as a mem copy, it's already being tracked through this. So anyway, it can show up even when you don't want it to, but like I said, one, you can change the type, and two, one of the upcoming features that Brian's working on is the ability for any specific one of these to just be like, actually no, disable this inline right here, right? Where you would be able to be like, this particular one, I don't want this one to happen. I want it in general. I like it, as a whole, but I don't want it on all the time. BSC, yeah, you can email us. I want to say it's like $900, $1,000. It's less than a commercial license to buy a headless. And also, as a side note, if you have an enterprise server, which includes floating licenses, you can actually have it automatically check out, check back in, and that will work headlessly too. You can also use just a commercial license headlessly, but it's actually cheaper. Yes, the docs did change a little bit, which is why I apparently broke search. Didn't intentionally break search, so actually I don't even think I haven't messed as much with the API docs. It was more about, what's the hotkey? Control. No, let's forward and backwards. Control page up, page down. Yeah, so okay, there was not much, but the API shouldn't have changed a whole lot. The user docs, though, I definitely I definitely made a bunch of changes too. So there's a number of things that have changed with this. Although you won't see most of them. A lot of them are kind of behind the scenes. But for example, ironically, since the API docs are broken, one of the things that changed is the user guide offline, right? Like your offline user guide. This should be searchable now. What do I want to search for? Symbol? Maybe it doesn't work. Like I said, are we in dev? Oh, you know what? Nope, this test branch doesn't have it. But this one should. User guide. Let's try this one. Yeah. All right, let's try this. Yeah, see, there we go. Symbol. Yeah, so search now works offline in the user docs, and as soon as I fix whatever bug, and I think this, yeah, I'll figure out the API docs. Then all the help docs will be searchable offline, which is nice. So that's a little change that happened over the weekend. Cool. Yeah, the outlining has been super nice. Thanks, Kay. Yeah, like I said, we know we've got a good list of things that we want to improve. Um, no, they're not extendable right now. Um, we always think about that though, right? Like we're very pluggable, and so it's definitely something we've considered, but I don't have a specifics or know where it is exactly on the roadmap as to what it will be. Um, but yeah, we've definitely been thinking about it. So cool. Yeah, that's awesome. That outlining looked fantastic. And that switch statement recovery is also improved, which is again one of the other major features I was gonna take a look at, right? So on our list was the switch improvement. So that same binary looks great for both. And yeah, that's a beautiful one there. And IDA completely falls apart on that. So awesome. Um, good to see those two. All right, what's next? I think debugger and then C++, right? We've got intrinsics. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions about any of the features that I haven't answered. Which file set? Yeah, let's do debugger. Sweet. Okay, so this is the test branch on the debugger. So this is, it should be the one, 4791. Yeah, this is the one I need for working in the debugger. Okay, and now let's try. So this is again, so I need to be on the test branch, but I'm just going to get the files from the server because we've already got them from here. I can do that with download original file, library test, put it in my samples folder. One. And libtest, download original file. It'd be nice if it remembered where you were saving. All right, so now let's see. Oh, we have the source code for this, so we can actually go check that out. It's on the GitHub repo. So GitHub vector35 debugger, I think. Or no, it's a separate Shusheng 6 library test. Did I spell that right? All right, and we're gonna look at main and library. Okay, so this was specifically to be able to debug DLLs or shared objects or libraries. So we've got, I mean, okay. So it used to, or is this an alternate payload where it would call the function? But in this case, it should just be library.h. Is that where we're, or yeah, where do we define func here? Let's see here. Next turn, and then when we link it, what's our CMake? Oh, I can't read CMake. All right, main.cpp, library.cpp. So library should define func, and next turn in it. Yep. So print hello. Okay. So yeah, very straightforward. Right. It's just going to be a library that's, in fact, actually, we should just be able to run this too. So we should get a little hello world. Let's do this here. Samples. Library test. LDD, is that the one? LDD library test. Okay, so libtest.so. I do need the SO. File libtest. That's probably the SO. Yeah. Test.so. Oh, right. All right, now LDD. Sure. Okay, so now a library test. Hello world. Okay, so this is a hello world that's using a library to call it. Got it. And the question is, what if we want to debug just that function in that library, right? If you just have the DLL, like if I just have libtest and I don't have the parent and I want to debug that. So that's what we're going to look for. So this makes sense. So let's open up the libtest SO itself. All right, so we've got and actually we should be able to look for, yeah, we can see func should be an export. If we look at just triage, right, we can see sure enough, we export func, which we knew that because we saw it getting called. And all right, so let's set a breakpoint on this library. So I'm going to hit F2 to set a breakpoint. Yep, the debugger breakpoint key. Um, yeah, because there's no entry point, right? So we have to breakpoint where we want it to breakpoint. And now open adapter debugger settings. So let's go to the debugger. And we've got a new icon here too. Icon looks good. I actually haven't tried that one yet. Although I don't know about the different color. But it is, of course, theme aware, so it'll be nice and smoothly done. Okay, so we've got our input file, executable path. All right. And now what are we going to change? The executable path to the full. Oh, okay. Right. We're going to run library test. Okay, so we're not running the library in isolation. We're still going to run the main thing, but then our breakpoint should leave input file unchanged, right? Press the launch button. Okay. Let's see. And I think we should have, I think we have to run it, right? Or launch. Yes, I'm about to, I know, I'm going to run library test. And I wanted to, but my breakpoint's here. Yeah. So there we go. So we were able to breakpoint inside the, and yeah, that's the other thing. Look at the address. You can see this is the loaded address of the module. And then the module list. Yeah, we can see everything loaded up. Right, so you can still set your breakpoints. So even though you were statically analyzing Binja, you had Binja on the library. Now you don't have the ability to, I think, do like all of them. So maybe that as far as I understand, that might be one limitation for now. But and let's look at the stack as well. We should be able to see us calling in from main into func, yeah, into libtest, right? And this is where we're at currently. Cool. And okay, we should be able to, if we want to step over that, we should. Yeah, so now we're in, I think now we're literally in, is this main? Which binary is this? Yeah, so let's look at our mapping. Yeah, this is in main, right? So now we're in our library test main module. But because, again, this is not the one that we analyzed, we just have kind of the raw memory of the bytes here. It's decompiled in isolation. So it's still not like a complete debug everything and step through them all quite yet. But, yep. Cool. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, Shusheng has really been cranking away on the debugger, so that's really nice. And again, like I said, the icon is nicer to let you control your settings. I think that used to be like the drop down inside of here. It has an actual icon now. Um, he's cranking away on it. So cool. Yeah, I like it when the demo just works. That's fantastic. Unfrozen. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you can the threads. Yeah, it's each thread's stack trace. And sure enough, we got our hello world. Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, let's see. Let's kill it. Kill debugging. And there we go. We're back in our library that we had analyzed. All right. Sweet. So that's the debugger can now debug libraries. There's a bunch of other little changes and stuff, as you all already mentioned, that have happened in the debugger. So that's just like the one big kind of thing that we could mention. But all right, I think I've stalled enough. It's time for C++ types, right? So let me pull the file. Yeah, this one actually I meant to load up earlier and I forgot to put it in the folder. So where was the folder here? And let's go grab that file. Do, do, do. All right. Yeah, here's the latest one. Okay. Oh, that's funny. You can see it like download there. All right, so let's grab this BNDB. And for this one, we just want it on the latest. So we'll use Enterprise. What was it called again? simple class. So this change comes with a nice read up as well too. So let's nice readme. So let's go actually just look at the user docs. So the user guide that we probably still had up in another tab. Now we've got several copies of it. Let's actually close this down. There we go. No, that's the API docs, not the user guide. Okay, so user manual has a new section on C++ types. So this is the guide. There's a couple of components to this, right? Oh, I'm not the demo king. Trust me, we got a team doing all the hard work behind the scenes. I'm just the one who gets to sit on the camera and do it. But lots and lots of good demos. C++ types and virtual function tables, right? So there's like three major components or three things associated with this kind of change. So first, there's a new type system, or a new enhancement to the existing type system, so you can have types that support basically inheritance, right? Base types, virtual function tables, and that was supported inside the core. This was actually something that Ryan Snyder internally, like a while ago, brainstormed with a couple of the people, and they wrote up a whole document, put it in our wiki, and they're like, we're pretty sure you could just do this, like as they kind of had an approach and how it would be implemented behind the scenes. And then Rusty sat down and went, yeah, that's it. It took him like 2 weeks. It took him like a week, not even, to implement the actual types. There was a bunch of other little stuff associated with it, but it was turned out to be pretty smooth, and kind of like exactly as it working. And then he had to build the UIs around it to better support it and actually take advantage of it, as well as the documentation. So those are the three things that we've got here. And like I said, I am literally looking at this for the first time myself because it got landed yesterday and I was on a plane and doing some other stuff this morning. So let's see. So derived class can be defined using to create structure, right? So yeah, this is the new dialogue that I saw earlier when I said spoilers, right? So if I've got this this binder, and by the way, this is also another great, like, let's just go run that sort classes into folders. All right, so we've also got components perfect for this one as well, which is nice. I think I don't like, what are the blue ones? Which one of these? Are these? Oh, those are yeah. We're seeing both the PLT and the God essentially. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so we've got, yeah, if we go to our type viewer, however, yeah, and so this one they're already marked up, right? So this little is a BNDB where it's specifically already kind of created for us, but let's just look at that just by hitting I did not want to do that. I wanted to hit S, not selecting that. I want to select nothing and now hit S. There we go. So we can look at this, right? So this is the new UI. It used to just be struct and size and that was all you got, but now you got like base structures. So you can specify like if, you know, in fact, in this particular binary, let's go look at it. So we've got there's a vtable for A, which has field type info, some so pointer to another A1. All right, let me do this too. I can turn off system types again. There we go. So yeah, these are the only types that are defined in the user types that are defined in the BND. All right, so we've got A, just a little, it's got its vtable pointer, and it's got just some value X. And then we've got B, which you can see has a base type of A. So B inherits from A, but it overrides basically, we've got B's vtable now. We've got the X from A, and then it adds additionally this Y parameter, right? So we're sort of like overlaying, and now if I hit Y on this, I should be able to see even here the syntax, right? Exactly. So this is what required up like wiring up some new capabilities to even like the type parser to be able to like write this into kind of a syntax. So you can specify the syntax right here. And The reason that this is using this particular syntax is because this is, yes, we're using this right now for like the inheritance of C++, but this could be used to adapt to different other languages. It's not meant for just C++ ultimately. It's meant for any type of relationship between variables that maybe it's what things you want to do that are not really C++ compatible, but something else you would want to, you could implement with this this kind of base offset overlay system. So that's why this is first for C++, but it'll also enable other languages and other types. So that's kind of nifty. So we can see here again, we got the same thing, and it's got this inherited. And actually, I think when you create it, let's go back and look at the docs now. Because I think, yeah, and then C has its own vtable, implements, yeah, A and B from inheriting from B, and then of course adds its own Z, right? So now we can look for, and also again, beautiful, like the cross-reference system. It's always been great when you had good structures, but now like, look at this, right? We've actually got references to C, but what if we look at like A? Yeah, we can see because this X property comes from A, we actually see cross-references even though we're on the B for usages of A and B, which makes sense because it's the same property that they're all sort of inheriting, right? So I get that in the cross references. I don't just see usages in C, right? You would see like this one. Okay, so the sum method that they're implementing down here is, yeah, so it's literally just going to add up either, I guess on A it probably returns. So if we look at C's sum, right? Oh yeah, look at that. This X, Y, and Z add together, that's beautiful. And then if we do look at B's, it's just going to be X and Y, and it probably just returns, yeah, this X on A, because there's nothing else to sum. Sorry, let me get caught up. I getting too distracted by this. So these were not automatically defined. No, to be clear, these were manually created. I opened up a BNDB. That's a great question. Yeah, Robert, I agree. So and we do, like I said, we do have kind of plans for projects and stuff coming. So let's see here. Yes, Ki, please do. Please do. Yeah, nothing is automated yet right now. It is, so what happened was if I actually I can save file contents as out of the BNDB, and I can actually might already have it there. Nope, didn't. All right. And then I can open, you can see, nope, don't open the database. We do still get that, we do still get some debug symbols, but we won't have any types because there's no type information that we're parsing out here. So it just has symbols, but it doesn't have like dwarf type parsing or anything like that coming out of this. Although now that we have this in the type system, that'll be the next thing is to be able to pull out either RTTI or other debug information, like to create those kind of symbols automatically. So let's see, can I? Yeah. So this looks like I think I can just do this. Yeah. So operator new, I can just hit S on, and it creates the struct, which is going to be for A automatically. Although I'm surprised to see that A and B, I would expect that it had different sizes. And yeah, so what we can do here, yeah, so I just did S because I like the fact that it creates the correct size for me automatically. And so just looking at this, yeah, so first of all, 1818. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong ones. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so that's interesting. So we should have 12, yeah, it should be 12 bytes long. I'm actually curious why. Actually, I should just go to main. Is the main in there? Was that the name of the function? What was it? Oh, underscore main, right? Oh, there we go. Okay. So yeah, that's interesting. I guess just because of padding, it's requesting 16 bytes. It doesn't need it, it needs 12, and then this time it needs 16. Yeah, and this one it actually only needs 16 or 20 bytes. Yeah, this one should need 20 bytes because it was 8, 4, 4, 6. Yeah, so this one it would only need 20, but it's requesting more just for padding purposes, right? So that's interesting. We're actually, if we continue with this, what we would do is, um, yeah, so there's a vtable pointer there. So we could just do like 8 and make it like a void star. And then this is 4, and then that's the actual padding, right? That's just there left because it did it. Or we could change the size. I think you can even right click and choose set structure size. If we want to fix it, if we realize like, oh, those bytes are never used, we could come back here um, and fix it after the fact by changing the size. So there's structure A. But we would manually have to reverse engineer this vtable out. So we'd recognize, we've got this field, we're calling this one X, but then this is the vtable, which, let's see, where do we get the vtable? Actually, it's actually a good question. So if we look at the vtable, we actually have to look up through the sum method. All right, sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm a bad C++ reverse engineer, so I'm not the best person to show this off. So the main thing is the type system can support this. You can specify an offset and the inheritance properties on these fields, so that it, like, in fact, actually, I think if I do something here, like, yeah, you notice it's just all X's. If I rename this, and call this one 1, and call this one 2, right? Yeah, the UI, because it's inherited, you only make those changes once, and every else updates it. Exactly. Yeah, that's really nice. So we make no claims to have solved C++ reverse engineering. There's still a lot of hard problems left, but this is the first step in really being able to do a much better job in representing that. And yeah, we're not done here. We're gonna definitely keep going. So there'll be more to it. So that's awesome. Oh yeah, actually, I should look back through the docs some more, see if I missed anything. All right, so you can specify the base class, and where. Yeah, single inheritance would be 0 usually. But again, this is where you can specify things that you might not want to do. And then, oh, you can have multiple. Yeah, you can have multiple inherited structures, right? Different offsets, or and then you can overlay them too, right? You notice that, like, we changed the vtable for B. It's not the inherited one. We have our own class variable for B, because B's got a different summation method, right? So there's this other sum for A, and then there's the sum for B. Actually, vtable for B. Oh, interesting. A sum, B sum. Oh, does it automatically figure that out? How does it do this? Oh, right. Because the vtable is actually applied in memory. Right. So if you actually go to that offset, there is a symbol there, but you've actually got the, yeah. So if you actually, oh, here we go. Yeah, your struct here. This one already had vtable for B. Where was that? Interesting. Oh, I think this is, oh, I know, it's the name demangling. We don't have the full type information. We've got the demangle name, so we know that there's a struct here. Yeah. So I don't think you can hit S and convert it to a struct right from here. So what you would do is, right, you'd actually create your type, And then I mean, the nice thing is, but you can see this just with the symbols. You can see that's going to be your size of your V table. So you can create your struct. Yeah, you can easily see how you would create the struct from there. So that at least could be automated. We could probably pull out, or at least semi-automated. Yeah, there's the type info, there's the V table, there's the type info. Yeah, okay. And yeah, exactly. So the plan is that now that we have this system in place, we should be able to do RTTI parsing and actually get it all out of the box. So anyway, I'll leave it to y'all to see. There you go, perfect, Dank. Good timing. Now you can take advantage of it. All right. Let's see, what else? Was that it? I think that may have been it on the list of features. Let's go back to enterprise. We've got components, which y'all have seen plenty of. C++ type support. We've got the debugger library. We've got the intrinsics, which really are, yeah, that's super nice. That looked great. And the switch statement recovery as well, too. We showed that off also last stream with a bunch more examples where we are basically a superset of IDA's switch recovery for at least all the classes of sparse switch recovery that we've tested so far. So that's really nice to see. MH file set support. So yeah, that's a great update. Lots of other little stuff. I'll show one last little thing that I just did just because I worked on it. So in fact, I think, did I put it here? I did. So I cloned snippets into, oh, I haven't even tested the latest code changes, I don't think. So this might be wild and crazy. So if it's not pushed in the release in the plugin manager yet, I want to do a little bit more testing. But Peter made a great suggestion for a feature today. No, I don't want that. I just want something else. Okay. In snippets, there is a new button. This used to be closed, but like honestly, you can hit escape. Or if you have a window manager that actually has chroma around the edges, you can hit the X button, or you've got hotkeys for it in other tools. But there is an open in editor button now, which will use your default file association. So like I went to a Python file, for example. Do I have .binary ninja? Oh, come here. So if I have, for example, a plugin, or here we go, start.py, and you just say, properties on Linux, and you change what you open it with. Same thing with Mac OS, Windows. You set the default file association. So now when you do that in Binja, you can click Open in Editor, and with your move it to a new window, you can see like that file gets edited here. And so this is the just logger action. So if I even quit this and I trigger logger, you can see it's running that. But if I go back and make a change here, I save it, I can just rerun that action. Binary Ninja basically is watching the folder, will automatically update and reload snippets. So snippets are always going to be run from the version that you've got in your external tool. So if you like snippets or that kind of stuff, if you like being lazy and being able to do like len bb functions, and I'm going to be real lazy because I'm not even going to make sure I have a binary view up. Right, you get the ability to do that, but still have a real IDE over here. So yeah, just a small little thing. Oh, does the X not on Windows work? Really? Oh, that's good to know. Hold on, let me test that. See if that works here too. I think I've got. Wait, where is my? There it is. All right. I was literally just updating my Windows VM. We'll test that as well. So yeah, just a cool little feature, and there's a couple other places where I think it might be nice to integrate it, where you would just use your default editor as well as if you want. So we're thinking that it might be nice to even make that like a setting that you could override if you don't want to use the core ones, for example. I don't remember if the password here is the same as my usual stream password, so it is not. Not that it really matters. All right. So Binja on my Windows 11 VM. Let's see. Does snippets X work? I know it works on Mac. I think it works on Mac. Oh, Windows. My poor Windows VM is so slow. I already ran it right. Or did I just not double click? I still blame Windows being slow. I actually earlier was testing this change and Windows had updates, Linux had updates. No, I don't even think I double clicked it. Okay, try it again. Double click. All right. Now it looks like we're running. There we go. There we go. Okay. So the X. It works. Okay, it works for me at least. So I'm pretty sure it's worked on Windows 10. At least I've got snapshots in this machine. I can try it later just to make sure, but I think that should work. Yeah, so the export and editor is a nice feature, or open an editor rather. Let's see whatever else. Yeah, and the other nice thing too is that if you actually add any file to the snippet folder, you don't even have to have snippets up. If you just like have your editor going, and so for example, I can cd, so snippets are actually stolen in your user folder, copy logger to stream.py. Oops. Oh, this is like fake Vim. Right? And now I can literally do stream. So like I said, it monitors the actual folder for changes. So you can just like edit files there directly without bringing up the UI at all, which is kind of nice. So use whatever you like, and Binja will just let you trigger those actions anytime. So cool. All right. Well, that's a wrap, I think, for our 3.4 features. Definitely exciting. It's not, we debated if it was going to be 4.0, but I think there's some other stuff in the pipe even for 4.0, even bigger and better, that I know you all appreciate, but it's a good list. So happy with that. Thanks for everybody for joining the stream a bit earlier today and hanging out. We'll probably kind of keep on the schedule. So let me know if you prefer a different time or not. But yeah, so we'll get a couple of those little issues ironed out. We've got several weeks before. Oh yeah, and the actual schedule. I don't know if we put the release date in the. Let's see. Sometimes, yeah, we should have in the milestones. Yeah, we need to actually put the due date. So we'll put the actual launch date, the expected date that we think this will be live. And all 22 of these open bugs, everyone has somebody assigned to it, and it's in progress or expected to be done in the next couple of weeks. So we should be able to get all of those done. And looking about like having 90-ish issues for this one. So sweet, cool background. Yeah, I figured it was a little bit earlier for EU, and hopefully it's not too much into the day for the folks in the States. So, well, yeah, thanks again for chilling. I'm gonna go enjoy my evening while it's still light out too, and look forward to seeing you all next week. Cheers.